So we're trying out a new location. We were supposed to be doing this live today, but as usual, I forgot a load of shit. Just because I haven't, like, this is not, if I was doing a dinner for like 50 people, I would not have forgotten a single solitary fucking thing because that's what I do for a living. But this is like totally new to me, so it's really easy for me to forget one thing that fucks the whole thing up. So I've done that again. So hopefully next week.
Test day, no stress.
Yeah, hopefully next week we will have the actual live thing, but we're doing a recorded one today anyway. So, and we didn't really have a topic to talk about.
Okay, we're doing it live. I really want you. I really want you to do that.
That's coming.
Okay.
We will do that.
That's how we have to start next week.
Yeah. So that'll be next week.
I feel like there's things that happen live that we record and keep on anyways and publish. Which is
Yeah, I have some of them. I still have some of them. I've an archive. I have an archive for later, for blackmail purposes.
You know what's fucked up is like I think only you and Suji have so much blackmail on me.
I'm
like,
yeah.
no.
And it's like I don't give a shit, so like it doesn't matter. You can never have blackmail on me because I really just don't give a shit.
So you want to talk about your boy?
Oh yeah, my boy Joe Biden, Brandon. Oh man.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
I just think like I watched a lot of the feedback about it. You know what I mean? And like not from just these like just some crazy right-wing feedback, but also some crazy left-wing feedback. And it's like the one thing was like, you know, the background had this like red, like satanic fucking vibe in the background.
Yeah, I could see
and
that.
I did get that. I was like, yeah, that is a bit fucking weird.
But
for,
they
like
superimposed like Hitler on his face and like did like
yeah,
the
I didn't.
speech.
I mean, I saw. I mean,
I saw
obviously,
that
but I mean, I watched the actual speech. I watched the whole speech.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that good either. I mean, he was like really, like in one breath he was going like, you know, we've got to stop the divisiveness in this country. And that's why I'm here, to unite the people for the divisiveness in this country. And those MAGA people, and it's like, dude, you can't,
but the thing
can't fucking go about it.
But to be fair to him, he did say it's not all Republicans, it's just these people who are being extreme.
Yeah.
And there's other people who are scared to
deal with
them.
To me, it smacked of fucking Hillary Clinton in the basket of deplorables. It really did. I felt it was like a really not helpful speech.
On the other side, and this is not to be a what about, but it's like those fucking people have been super divisive. They really have been.
I agree, but I mean, I really feel like so have the other side as well. I mean, I think like, you know, for instance, like, you know,
they're not. There is no other side. They're the same.
Yeah, I mean, they are the same, but like I feel like after the 2016 election, the number of times you can find, if you just go back, you can find like Hillary Clinton and every single MSNBC had and every single CNN had going on about how Donald Trump was an illegitimate president. He stole the election. Putin got him in charge. You know what I mean? They did that. They kind of started that thing, right? I think they did. I think they started that, so it's just going to be a constant fucking tit for tat. And again, I don't even like talking about it because it's an absolute fucking like distraction. It helps both of them. It's a distraction from what's actually really going on. It's like,
the news yesterday, today are like there's some horrific things going on in the world. We didn't care.
Yeah,
He's talking about this dude's fucking weirdo background.
This weirdo fucking speech.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't that bad. He didn't say like we're gonna kill like, you know, a whole group of people or anything.
No, he didn't say that.
This
but
other
they're gonna
asshole
do that.
was like, yeah. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, you know,
Sorry.
this is the thing that killed me about.
No, sorry, you're right.
This is the thing that kills me about it, is like going on about how like what an evil guy like Donald Trump was, but they're doing the exact same shit. It's like, let's talk about the shit both of you are doing and how fucking horrible that is, and like how you have not changed any of the policies of Donald Trump.
Yeah, because like this is the thing that pissed me off.
You know what I mean?
I will agree. That's one thing that pisses me off is he's like, you know, these people are going after, you know, your education, your ability to educate your children without being in debt. You're going after the people, you know, who you love, or if you love somebody who's different, or sorry, the same sex as you. That's a big deal.
Whatever.
But that's like the thing that they're holding on to, and I'm like,
yeah.
I wish he would solve the economic problems because of the social issues that we have.
I mean, this is absolutely all they're holding on to.
I mean,
I mean, he did that whole bit in that speech about, you know, like who you love and who you don't love and blah, blah, blah.
You're going to love those people anyway.
Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? This is like, just bring this into make the whole thing about culture.
Yeah.
And not about, like, the economic fucking, like, strife that's destroying everyone's life.
We talked about this last week about like Reagan's kind of plan to like kind
Yeah.
of kick out or just to get rid of like public education and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
education
yeah.
and sponsor. And I was thinking
But
about
more to turn education into like a vocational school that you learn how to do a trade and that's it.
yeah, or if you were really really rich, yeah, you do go to an Ivy League school.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah,
Because you are going to keep.
But you need to know how to. You need to
You know how to
you-
fuck
you-
other people.
Yeah, you need to know how to keep the
And
control.
you need to know
Yeah,
that you're the
yeah,
smartest
yeah,
person. You know,
Well,
yeah,
exactly,
exactly.
yeah.
It's like self-aggrandizing
Yeah.
bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, you get to learn about Homer and the Iliad and all that shit. So you can you learn this historical the historical lens of oppression and what the oppressor is supposed to do, and that's
then-
what they do.
Yeah. And also scares you of the proletariat.
Absolutely.
They scare
yeah.
them too,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
You know. But I was thinking about that conversation we had, and I was like, the fact that the people in the army and the corporate media has this like kind of narrative about like the army's worried about recruiting people
Yes.
because if the debt is getting canceled, they have less than that,
incentive to go to college, to join the military.
Militaries will pay for college. I was
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty much. That's.
Tell me how you really feel.
That's pretty much the quiet part out loud, really, isn't it?
Is it not?
Yeah, it
And
really is.
I was thinking to
Yeah,
myself,
yeah.
talk about that in your fucking speech.
Yeah, no, they won't talk about that. He won't talk about he won't talk about minimum wage. He won't talk about any of that the real shit that would really, really, really improve people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
No, he talked about. He didn't even say the word abortion once in the fucking thing.
You can't.
Yeah.
Republicans can't really either.
Yeah,
Have you noticed that? Because they kind of fucked up in a couple
I'm
of
just so tired of nobody in politics having any fucking balls. There's nobody in
I
politics
will give
who's ever
something
had
to
any
Bernie,
balls.
though. He went all the way to England.
He did go to England to talk at the rail workers' strike, which is fair play to Bernie.
Yep.
Yeah. Bernie's brother is a Labour MP in the UK. He is.
What's up with his family?
They're fucking cool lefties, man. I like them.
Oh my God.
Just like the Brooklyn Jewish family, and his brother's great, man, because his brother's has lived in the UK for I don't know, fucking 40 years. And he's still got that fucking Brooklyn Jewish accent. It's so cool, man. These fucking oligarchs gonna destroying our lives. Oligarchs. It's fucking great.
Well, I want to talk about that later.
Bernie was great, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
I listened to that about 5 minutes of him, and I think he said oligarchs about 7 fucking times.
He's
man.
like the people
It's
in
a
the UK
genius, man.
and the US have to fight
Yeah,
against
yeah,
these
yeah,
oligarchs.
fair play to
Everyone-
Bernie. Yeah, fair play. to
No,
Bernie,
I
yeah.
thought but that is a speech you can get behind, and that actually will help you. Because
Yeah, but
those unions are getting some momentum behind them
But
again.
he's very not. He's very not doing that.
Very not
At
doing that.
Amazon fucking protests in the U.S. He's not going and standing out on the front line. Fair play to him for doing that one in the U.K., which was great. But I'd like to see him doing more of that, because there's strikes all over the United States,
Right.
man. To go up and stand up and make that same speech there to those people and
I mean,
I
in
import
California, it seems like it's heating up, and then there's also I think there's some things going on with the fast food workers.
Yeah.
There's some stuff going on. I think Starbucks kind of started that thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the Starbucks workers.
So I mean,
not
the problem with the Starbucks thing is the Labor Relations Act was made in 1935 or 6, I think, and then it was completely gutted in 1947 with the Taft-Hartley Act, which kind of took away 90% of its fucking power. But it's so structured around industrial unions that it's not really fit for purpose for a Starbucks where there's only 35 employees.
And also,
So
I
maybe-
thought that we weren't supposed to have these big monopolies anyways. So the things aren't really written
But
into
the
that.
thing is, even though you have the monopolies, you can only unionize. You can't unionize against the whole monopoly. You can only unionize against the single solitary store that you're located in. It's really badly.
Jeez, they fucking hedge their bets to the
They
end.
really
Like,
have.
I mean,
Yeah, they've made it so that the legal loopholes, the legal hurdles that you have to jump in terms of unionization is ridiculous. So one, you can only unionize a McDonald's.
Yeah.
You can only unionize one McDonald's at a time. You can't
Which
unionize.
is so ridiculous.
Even if the same franchisee opens 10
only be for
McDonald's,
that
it can
specific-
only be for that specific location. And this is the way the law is laid out, and it's just
Convoluted
totally
for a
fucked up.
reason.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Because
convoluted.
I always used to think, how could it just be so stupid? Just this doesn't work. When you're a kid, that's how you think. And then as you get older, you're like, nah, nobody's this dumb. They set this up
Oh
this.
no, God no! And they act like they're oh, what are you going to do? The
That's
thing
what I
is
mean,
but they're no, you made it that way. You know what I mean?
I do think though, I've seen some protests and stuff. I think California and I think surprisingly in Colorado, there's a lot of protests from younger people, and it's geared towards the environment. But it's also because they just have less trust in the less trust in the system, so they're not going to school.
But I mean, like you have people like who are like in their 20s now, and they've been like, they watched, they would have watched their parents get fucked over, then they got fucked over,
and they would have watched. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
Why would they trust in a system that is just clearly not?
Why would they go to school?
I don't get that, man.
Whenever I realize like I'm overly judgmental of people who are like, they like maybe I'm not trying to be, but like influencers or stupid shit. I'm like, how does this help? But I was like, well, fuck it, they're making
Why
money.
not? Yeah.
What the fuck? You're not giving them any options. I mean, I saw this study
Yeah.
that they're like drug use amongst like teenagers and young adults is up like 60% or some shit. I was like, okay, whatever. That's probably not true. Other people were lying, but. If they are, I'm like, oh, what the fuck do they have to do?
Yeah, I like the drug abuse statistics I've never taken seriously since I was a kid. I mean...
Everybody lies and nobody...
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, if you asked anybody in my school...
Nobody did drugs.
Oh, no, we don't know. God, no. But then it was like, weren't we outside smoking a joint before?
That's not drugs.
No, it wasn't me.
That's not drugs. That's not a drug.
Yeah, well, but in 1978, when I was in school, it was a fucking drug.
No.
I mean,
yeah, I know it was. It was a schedule.
It wasn't then.
Yeah.
I mean, it still is a Schedule 1 drug now in the United States. It's ridiculous.
It's true.
But everybody smoked weed, and I mean, like, my last 2 years of high school were in a fucking drug rehab because I got caught.
Whoa, confession time.
I never denied it, man. I got caught selling fucking speed and
Speed?
Yeah, they were pharmaceutical speed. Really nice, good shit. They were like they were called OP, Obertrol Pharmaceutical Company, and it was dextroamphetamine and
You were not.
No, and like phenobarbital mixed together. It was quality. It was the good shit, man. They don't even make it anymore.
Were you
It's
selling
so
that
good.
to like your classmates?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It was so good that they don't make it anymore. Yeah, because I got like I told you a story.
right?
I got the I used to sell them as well. I got this job when I was in high school. I got a job in a pizza place that I really loved, and my dad was walking down the street randomly on a street that he never should have been walking down, but I was there on a break smoking a joint with the guys who worked in the pizza place. And I was like, nope, that's it. Yeah, bro, that's it. Got to get away from these Puerto Ricans because they were Puerto Rican guys. My dad was like, I'm kind of a bit racist, and. I mean, not really badly racist, but just in that sort of
like
normal
1970s
78
racist.
normal racist shit. You know what I mean? So,
You gotta do a little relatively.
so he made me go get a job where he worked in Wall Street as a messenger, which is like
to get clean.
to get clean.
Are
Yeah,
you
it's like
kidding?
Drug Central. And like my third day in the job, this guy comes up to me and he's like big fucking like Italian guy, Tony something around. He's like, hey, you go to one of them private schools up in the Upper West Side, eh? I was like, yeah. He's like, a lot of girls want to be models up there, don't they? Bring some of these up there, see if they like them.
What was it?
These Obertrol.
These are the Obertrol.
Obertrol things, OPs.
What
and
a dude.
I went up and they took off. Everybody loved them. And I got
Quality
caught.
dude, huh?
And I got caught, and it was freaking touch and go for a while there because, like, they didn't go to the police. My dad had a contact, like the security had a security, and the company that he worked for was an ex-cop, and they all went up there and they said, okay, we'll get him into he goes to a drug recovery thing and blah 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 blah.
Keep it straight. He's apologizing.
And then I was like, yeah, but all those pills that you took off me that you flushed down the toilet, I have to pay that guy Tony for them. And
You're
I'm like,
joking.
Yeah. And Tony was like fucking Tony. You know what I mean? He was like a fucking...
What are you talking about? You had
Tony.
to pay off this dude?
Yeah, I had to pay off this dude.
Were you like your dad? You introduced me to this guy.
But I couldn't really because
actually couldn't rap.
I'm only fucking I only put it together now in that sort of in that chronology as I got older. I was like, holy shit, you brought me out of like a totally cool, chilled out, smoking a bit of weed with the Puerto Rican friends
Pizza.
to doing a pizza job, which I loved. And brought me into this den of fucking thieves, which was Wall Street. You know what I mean? Like it was his fault. But anyway, so yeah, they had to have the cop guy went and talked to the guy Tony, and they worked out a deal.
Oh.
But I'm sure they gave him some money.
He had to.
Because he was fucking, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Absolutely.
Well, I figured he said Tony, and you said it like that.
Well, yeah, I kind of did mean it like.
I know.
Yeah. He
I'm
was
looking at you when I
he
do
was
that.
fucking connected for sure, man.
Oh
You know what I
my
mean?
God. You got. That's super funny because I'm just like, he took you out of a pizza place to Wall Street to get clean.
Yeah. I don't know.
Whatever, there's rationale for everything.
But it was like 78, 79. So like, you know, I mean, my dad thought that, you know, Wall Street was great, even though he was doing coke. I mean, like, how did he think that was? I have no idea.
I mean, like,
No
what
idea.
did he? Okay.
I have no idea.
I love this. That's a good show.
Yeah. So, well, it is. Yeah. So I spent 2 years, my last 2 years of high school, I was in a drug rehab. I would go to school in the morning, wrestling practice in the afternoon. I'd finish wrestling practice and I'd go to group and I'd do like an hour or two in group and hang out with all the other kids who were not doing drugs. And then I'd go home. Do
And
my
they
homework.
weren't doing drugs, right?
No, we weren't doing drugs.
Okay.
I mean, we were stopped. Actually, it was pretty cool. Actually, I think in a lot of ways it kind of. It helped me out a lot. Yeah. I mean, because I got into the whole therapy thing as well, man. It was like we did group therapy every day, and I had an individual therapist, and you know, it was fucking really cool.
I mean, that's an amazing resource.
Supersonic. I mean, and like I think that I wish every fucking kid had that access to that, man.
Because it's
Jesus
not
fucking Christ!
Because
you'd
you didn't get treated like a criminal.
You'd empty the fucking prisons.
Yeah, but you didn't get treated
No,
like a
I didn't
criminal.
get treated
It
like
was
a
a health
criminal.
issue.
I didn't get treated like, you know, and like I was a white kid, and you know, and
And you know that.
Not to bring race into it, but that's the fuck. I mean, I know that. You know what I mean? I know that there was one black dude in the program with us, and his dad was a fucking doctor. It was like, you know, so he was wealthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like a regular dude from, you know, like 20 blocks up farther north than me in Manhattan, that motherfucker was going straight to fucking Spofford and then Rikers.
And that's your life.
And that's your life. Yeah. But you know, if everybody had that opportunity that I had to not only just, you know, because like, like when you're that age, man, drugs aren't never the fucking problem. The problems are all here. You know what I mean? And it gave me the opportunity to like, you know, to do all that shit. So that was cool.
Yeah. What an amazing resource. You're right. I wish that could have been replicated for a bunch of other people.
I think every fucking kid should have that. I mean, I think it should be like a right. Like a human right, man. Like, you know, the first time you fuck up, it's like, okay, we're not going to put you in a fucking prison. We're going to put you in this really cool program where there's like a bunch of kids your age, and like some of them are already kind of like, you know, been there for a while, and they've got their shit together, and it's like this like just natural mentoring that takes place.
You're not sending them to a place where they can
I'm
be
not
people who
saying
are more fucked up.
I'm not
than
saying
them.
that every one of us that went to the program didn't go off and, you know, have like, you know,
problems.
more problems, but like the overwhelming majority of us, like, you know, it was really, really helpful for us. You know what I mean? For like, you know, I'm still in touch with a couple of friends that I went to.
Really?
Yeah. Like on Facebook and shit, but I'm not, you know, I mean, like.
But no, but they're not completely out of your mind.
No, absolutely not, because we had, you know, we had amazing times together and shit. You
Did
know
you
what
hook up with somebody that was just like amazing?
I did,
I
actually.
knew it.
I did, actually, yeah.
I was like, the way you're saying, I was like,
I
like, it was
did, actually.
great.
Yeah. My first girlfriend, I met her. My first like real serious girlfriend.
Girlfriend,
I
you
met
met
her.
her.
Yeah. We went out together for like 2 years. She ironically ran for fucking Congress as a Republican in the east side of Manhattan, which
It's
is
inside you, buddy.
me. You think I'm a Republican inside?
Well, the Democrat didn't get inside of her.
I was. Oh, that's fucked up, man. That's fucked
I'm
up.
fucking an asshole. I'm sorry.
Fucked up, man.
It's true. No, but anyways, let's take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break. Talk about science with my friend Pablo.
Let's do that.
So, back to another science.
Here we are.
Yeah. So the big news this week is they tried to launch the
Puppets.
the Artemis moon rocket
With
twice now.
twice, yeah. With how do you say those puppets they put in the cars for crashing?
The crash dummies.
Yeah,
Crash
with,
dummies.
with
yeah,
three
yeah.
dummies.
Yeah,
With three dummies.
yeah. Which, you know, again, just brings up the question. Okay, now, so they've had to cancel the two flights, one this week and one the week before,
Yeah.
because there's some leak in the hydrogen
Yeah.
solid fuel, you know, science, whatever thing that makes it blast off and go, woo, space, right? But do they really need the crash dummies to go up there? Oh shit! Another technical issue, man. Another technical issue.
Now we are.
Now we're fucking ready to go.
Yeah. Now we start. Now
Now we're starting. So, yeah. So the rockets, right? The Artemis moon rocket. Artemis, it's called. Artemis moon rocket is not. It didn't go because it was. I don't know, some technical thing.
Leaking hydrogen, yeah.
Leaking hydrogen. Yeah.
So because maybe the dummies breathe hydrogen.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, but I mean, and like you said, they're going to send crash dummies like they do in like test cars up to see how they go. But like, is it only me, or do I remember? Didn't we send like regular dummies?
Flesh and bones dummies.
Human dummies up to the fucking
yeah.
moon, like in 1969 and 1970 and 1972.
And more than three.
And more than three.
And more than 3 times.
Yeah, more than 3 times. So, you know,
why they are
unless we didn't do that, and I'm not saying that, you
No,
know,
of course not.
I wouldn't say that.
Or unless all the Nazis who knows about this business are dead.
This could be the only reason that we got to the moon is because the Nazis who we'd gotten out of in Operation Paperclip with the CIA, they were the only ones who knew how to go to the moon, and they're all dead now.
Yeah.
That's
but
a possibility.
so we have 2
Yeah,
hypotheses, so people can investigate. And
it's maybe that's what's happening in Ukraine, because you know there's like a big Nazi thing in Ukraine as well. You know, apparently, from what news would I read, that there's
no, it's from National Geographic Nazi mega structures. It's there they show you all the. That's all the information. It's there. It's
okay.
But
I mean, that's the other, so maybe this is what the Ukraine thing is about. They need to get the Nazis to go back to the moon.
You know what?
The Nazis are the only ones who know how to get to the moon.
You know what I like the most when they talk about Nazis? Sorry, parenthesize into, and we go back to rockets and moons and Nazis. It's why they send archaeologists to check Second World War when there's still some people alive.
I don't know.
Because when you see National Geographic, they said these archaeologists for Second World War will show us Nazi.
I never got Raiders of the Lost Ark with the whole Nazi thing and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, but it's
what
like
was that about? With the thing when they open it and the guys all die and
it's,
shit. I never got that.
But if they send an archaeologist to see the pizza place where we were working when you were a kid, it's not so old. It's not so old in time to have an archaeologist specialized in.
Unfortunately, except west side of Manhattan, it's not there anymore. It's probably a fucking Zara.
Well, we need an archaeologist.
Yeah. You would definitely need an archaeologist to find out. In my neighborhood that I grew up in, which is now like inaccessible to like 99% of the people that grew up there. Yeah, you would definitely need an archaeologist because it's definitely not there anymore.
Yeah, and I can't imagine Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
All those.
Yeah. Like when this takes off and I get like super famous, people are like, "Where are these places that Vinny was talking about? They don't exist."
Like Futurama.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to create a whole fucking thing that is. Yeah.
We were like the guy at Futurama. Do you remember
the pizza? Because he worked in a pizza place as well. That's right. Yeah.
Well, back to the moon. Back to the moon.
Moon. I don't know, but they have this like that other thing you sent me. That other article you sent me was like about there's like a plastic inflatable
city
moon environment that they inflate on Earth to pretend that they're going to the moon.
To keep the astronaut cozy, they said in the article.
Okay.
Once they are in the moon.
Once they're in the moon.
Will be like a playground in McDonald's, you know, like like the inflatable castles for kids.
Yes. Yeah.
So all my theories about
again, it brings me back to like the guys who went to the moon. Like some of them are still alive.
Yeah.
Why not just ask them?
Why you didn't ask them about the radiation?
Or Stanley Kubrick. You know what I mean? Like maybe
he's dead.
Oh, is he dead?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he died.
Oh, sorry, man.
Oh, that's fucking sad, man.
Sorry to give. Sorry for.
Is he dead or is he dead?
No, he's dead. So I cannot have any explanation why they are testing so much to go again to the moon 50 years later. Because we lost the knowledge of.
I think, like, I'm just saying, like, if I was skeptical about the moon, if they can't get there now, nobody's going to believe that they went there back
before,
then.
Yeah. So maybe they're canceling again.
Maybe they're just making it up to, you know.
And you think Kamala Harris will get a refund for the tickets because she was in the first failure launch? She was there.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So and she couldn't see the show. So is it refundable or?
Maybe they're waiting because they're going to send her to the moon because they're just like, no, we can't. We can't in America. They can't have if Joe Biden, like, you know, if he falls or something.
No, he can't go to the moon because you remember that movie when all the retired astronauts go to the moon.
Oh, well, that was Armageddon one with Bruce Willis. No,
he was also the guy of Maverick. What's the name of Maverick? The actor of Maverick. Isn't all the old guys again to was another shade of another crap?
I can't remember. Yeah. I'm sure it was a great show.
Oh, amazing!
Fantastic.
Maybe it was Armageddon. We
Yeah.
talk about this in every science because
Yeah,
it's two movies that change.
But this is the thing about science. It's like, is it movie or is it science or is it science or is it movie? You never know whether it's movies or science, man. I mean, they're so. I mean, you know.
It's like I had once I was hitchhiking and in a crossroad there was a kind of homeless. And we're talking bullshit, and he said, "Have you seen that?" Every time you say something like Columbus discovered Americans, he said, "Have you seen that?" I said, "No, I haven't."
No, I haven't seen that. No.
So he said, "And how do you know it's true?" So it was all the time the same thing. To everything you say to him was, "Have you seen it?" And so,
I told you this story before. I used to work with this guy in California when I was working. The first job I got when I lived in San Francisco. I was only about 22, and I was like, I worked with this guy every day, and every fucking day he would say, "Hey, have you seen Brazil?" I'm like, "No, I fucking told you yesterday. I haven't seen fucking Brazil."
the movie.
The movie, yeah.
The movie. Yeah.
And after about, I've never seen that movie.
And you will never.
Specifically because that fucking cunt asked me every
Right.
day if I'd seen Brazil. And I'm like, no, I refuse to see it. And people are like, it's a really good movie. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, but you
I
don't know
do
now
not care.
how the future will look like. That's yours. That's what you.
Doesn't matter to me.
I mean,
Doesn't
maybe
matter.
that's why, because you say the moon instead of the moon, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy make a domino effect affecting your whole life from since that moment till today. Well, it brought you to this moment in life, you know.
Yeah, it could do. I don't know, man. I just know I'm never seeing that movie. And I'm pretty sure that we're not going to see another moon landing. I'm making a prediction here. It's just not going to happen
Well,
again.
the dummies will not land in the moon.
Do it?
The crash dummies will stay.
No. No,
And
no.
how is it? Have you read it? How does it work? It will be
No, the crash dummies were supposed to go up. They were supposed to go around the moon
with the whole rocket.
and then come back.
But with the whole rocket, like
No, they have like, the stages and shit. It's like the
and it
stage.
would be a
is gonna
capsule like
big.
in the old
Yeah,
times.
like an old capsule, like, that was going to go around. And I'm like, why don't you just use the fucking, you have the Saturn V. That was the one that went to the moon, like, the moon 3 times
Yeah.
or 4 times. Just use that one.
And they fix all the issues because Apollo 13,
Yeah.
they know.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. And you had the one time when they didn't get to the moon, when they sent Kevin Bacon and Tom Hanks up.
Oh, they were there. That's what-
Yeah, that was a mistake. I mean, first of all, Kevin Bacon and Tom Hanks in a movie together, Bacon and
Doesn't
Hanks,
match, yeah.
it's
Because
doesn't work,
because
yeah.
basically because Tom Hanks doesn't know how to dance.
No,
He's
exactly.
not a dancer, and
Exactly.
and Kevin Bacon
Is a dancer. So Kevin Bacon wanting to dance and Tom Hanks not being able to dance, it cancels out the vibe of the movie. It's just untenable.
Yeah, it's
And
not-
then they were like in outer space and shit as well, which was just, and it was like a tediously boring movie as well. It was a dreadfully boring movie.
Well, that's what Tom Hanks did. First minutes.
3D
really good.
much, yeah, pretty
And
much.
then the
yeah,
last
yeah.
time, I like him, but it's just
I have to say, I like one movie. I really like one movie that Tom Hanks did,
which
and
one?
it's called Bridge of Spies.
What's in it?
And it's an incredibly boring movie. But it's perfect because Tom Hanks is the star.
He's boring.
And he's boring. But it was all about intrigue and spies and like East-West fucking 1950s, Soviet American, and I'm a bit of a nerd about that shit. So I liked it. But everybody else thought it was the most boring movie they'd ever seen. And I thought, well, it's pretty good actually. Although in fairness, I put it on sometimes just to go to sleep.
Remember that movie and show business will be a separate part of the show later. So it's,
It's true.
We missed the point about science.
Sorry, the science thing. Sorry, back
Yeah.
to the science thing.
But-
But I think it's a good point because I think science and movies, I think they're like, it's going to get to the point where nobody's going to believe because movies are so like
Yeah, but it's a perfect
real
time to
and-
talk about
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray,
Science and
because he was like in the science fiction.
He's an actor,
and he's an actor. Yeah.
and he was scammed.
And he was scammed in a science scam
Yeah,
where they stole all his Ethereum money.
yeah, 180,000.
Was he raising money for something?
I don't know, but the show was called Beer with Bill Murray,
Yeah.
and hackers were there, and
Yeah. I mean, I like Bill Murray, but I think I probably liked Bill Murray like 20 years ago, and like I don't think I'd want to hang out with Bill Murray now. He seems like a grouchy old man, and that's my job.
he's in Ethereum. It's like he's saving money somehow, or he's He not wanting to pay taxes then.
Bill Murray's not short. You know what I mean? He's definitely not going to be. You won't be seeing Bill Murray on a fucking bread line anytime soon. Like he's doing okay.
Okay. We don't have any really
No, again,
interesting
it's like real
because
science.
it's not biologists.
No.
Because last week we got many biology things no honest things. So it's all about space, and space is boring. So
Space is very, very boring. Yeah. They did another thing I saw was they actually took a picture, and again, it's the fucking
and the most amazing picture.
the James Webb Space Telescope. They took a picture of a planet, and it looks like a
Planet.
I don't know. It looks like somebody had their thumb in front of the camera. Do you know, like the camera
out of focus.
that your grandma took a picture and her thumb was there? It looks like that.
Yeah, but,
Like-
it's all the time. Every time.
And everyone's like, amazing.
The headlines of every telescope is the most amazing pictures ever of.
This
but-
has never been done before, and I'm like,
Yeah, sure, for sure. But
as far as I can see, it still hasn't been done.
yeah, but if just in case the first time, you can take it's the first time you do any shit. You know, it's like it's the first time absolutely everything. Well, it's kind of philosophy now, but
Yes.
everything
True.
you do is first time. So if you
Yeah.
so if you put this the first time ever and it's the most spectacular, it's,
Yeah.
sorry, but I doubt.
Anyway, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, another like this was supposed to be a live episode, and it was a bit rambling, and I've got the lights here and everything, but I forgot other bits and pieces. So
Yeah.
I'll get it together, and you know.
The science failures.
Yeah.
as well.
It's another scientific failure on my part, actually.
Yeah, but at least I think we're recording and everything's fine, isn't it?
I hope so.
Well,
I hope so. You never know. I mean, the red light is on, and
Yeah.
that's on. So,
and you have your beer and your
and I have my beer, and sponsored by Australia Galicia.
and the rocket's still there. Where is it? In Cape?
Cape Canaveral, I
Still-
think, in Florida. Yeah. There'll be a hurricane next that'll cancel it.
Now, you know, I guess it will be once it will be launched. I hope I'm not making a prediction, but take note of that. It will be a failure. It said after 3 attempts and blah blah blah, they didn't discover the thing which make the rocket blows before launching it. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
I
I
don't
hope
know.
it's not, but it will be.
Would you ever watch the documentary on the Challenger when the time that the Challenger blew up in 1986? And these guys were going like, dudes, it's too cold. We can't launch the thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah,
And they're
and-
like, millions of them were saying it. And they're like, no, we have to go today because it's really important. It's like,
No, basically, it's the
whoops.
guy who's saying our provider is shit.
Yeah.
Our provider of.
The O-rings. It was the O-rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well,
Anyway.
well, bye.
Ciao.
Till next week.
We're going to say goodbye now upstairs in NASA. And hopefully we'll be doing this live next week. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Some stuff cool. Some
Yeah.
cool stuff more.
I think we got a cool little spot here. We've got the lighting done, and I'm going home. And when I go home, I'm going to make a checklist of all the stuff I need, so I don't forget anything.
I love that. I should do that in my
I
life.
think that's
in general.
important. That's an important lesson that I learned today. And so yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
What did you think? What do you think of the new?
I mean, I like it better up here.
Yeah, it's a bit warm.
It will be nice in the winter.
It'll be very nice in a
It'll
couple
be
weeks.
toasty in the
yeah,
winter.
Yeah, in a few weeks it'll be very nice.
Right
now
now-
it's incredibly warm.
Fucking
But
hell.
yeah,
I didn't just say that. I didn't just say that. Okay.
okay.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.